All across the great state of Georgia, high school greenhouses look a lot like this, full of beautiful plants and flowers that are ready to go to their new homes. These sales are a big moneymaker for FFA programs and usually help them pay for things they do throughout the year.
One of the reasons we have a plant sale is this is one of our largest fundraisers that we hold to raise funds for us to use throughout the year. A lot of the funds are used to purchase FFA jackets for members, to fund some of the field trips, and then also to fund the meetings that we have once a month. So all the money just kind of goes back into the program just to kind of help our students with activities and things like that.
Almost without any notice, though, schools were closed due to COVID-19, leaving greenhouses full of plants. But thanks to some creative thinking, FFA chapters all over the state decided to turn to technology and sell them online.
As you can tell, we have a lot of money invested in this greenhouse, and like I said, this being the biggest fundraiser, we had to figure out a way to get our items sold to raise the money that we were going to use this upcoming year. So typically, we would have our plant sale right outside the greenhouse, and we display all of our plants, and people would come in, they could purchase. We'd had different kind of payment methods for them, but with the rules set forward and things like that, we had to come up with a way to sell the plants, and kind of doing a little bit of research and seeing what other FFA chapters were doing across the state. We came up with the program that we use now, kind of like an online format. It's kind of like Amazon. You see the picture of the plant, you have a description, you have the quantity, and then what it costs, and people can just go in there, select the quantity of each plant that they want. It loads it up to their cart, and at the end they can pay with whatever payment method they would like. And it kind of gives them a chance to browse, but with, of course, keeping the social distancing, and then they can still select what they want and then get it for their yards and whatnot.
They even came up with a creative way for people to get their flowers after they order them that aligns with social distancing guidelines.
Me and my principal, Ms. Palmer, we kind of talked up a plan and kind of came up with like a drive-through scenario where people could line up in their cars, and we would load up their products, and then they would just pay us through their car window. We do allow for one individual to come out of their car to kind of help load if it's a really big order, but for the most part, even our customers are very respectful of that distance, and so they'll hand their check or their cash at a pretty safe distance.
Aside from being a great fundraiser, these sales are also a great learning experience for the students, as they get to see both sides of the horticulture industry.
Our whole program here in horticulture is for students to kind of learn kind of the way that a greenhouse runs, be able to grow different plants in different environments. And so, we give them the opportunity, again, for a lot of hands-on and for them to learn about the plants and how they grow. And then again with this, they kind of learn the sales part of the greenhouse program or the horticulture production. And so they interact. Usually they interact with customers. They collect the money from them. They help customers load them up, and a lot of that is just customer interaction. And I think that's super important.
Reporting in commerce for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.